I was thinking it's shifting grammar, but I also noticed that you're a big cricket buff. So I was wondering, is it a bad Headingley or a Perth pitch where you have to bat? If you were to pull out a shot in such conditions, what would that be?
Well, I mean, certainly there's no question that with Mr. Trump, the second innings, the pitch has deteriorated considerably. The climate, as it were, literally has not been particularly conducive to our batting. But, I understood Piyush's very positive messaging, which is necessary for a minister in his position. I think that when we listened to him, we got this slightly sort of, confident, optimistic approach to all of this. I'll admit that I'm not in the government and I'm a little more worried. I'm hearing reports of serious cancellations of orders when it comes to garments, leather, seafood, which affects my state, and of course gems and jewellery. We've all read reports of a lakh and a half jewellery workers being laid off in Surat. That's all worrying, and some of this started before the second 25%. It started with the first 25%, which already put us at a serious disadvantage with all our competitors in these sectors. Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, Pakistan, Bangladesh, they're all between 15 and 19%. So 25 already puts our exporters at a negative premium, and that has to be negotiated down, and that's what our Commerce Ministry under Piyush was negotiating with the Americans. I'm afraid that that 25 has to come down, or we are in deep trouble in a number of sectors where we have been doing well in the US. The second 25%, of course, is the killer. Yeah. That's not really a tariff, that's a sanction. That is an absolute sort of geopolitical bludgeon that's been applied on us, with the indirect target being Russia. And the very fact that on the 27th of August we could be at 50% unless it's held in abeyance at the last minute, and that China will be at 30%, despite importing far more oil and gas from Russia than we do, suggests to me that the cards we hold are not as strong as we'd like to claim.
So what would be the prescription you would put out?
Look, I mean, I think some of the answers are obvious. Piyush himself implied some of them. One is diversification of markets, obviously indispensable. We have to go and look to other countries. We've got a good UK free trade agreement. We're talking to the EU. There are other agreements in the works. Great. And then much more stimulus to domestic demand, so we can actually have the domestic consumption rise to a point where we can absorb some of this. Those two are the obvious things. And then, of course, exploring completely new markets. I mean, we haven't shown enough energy over Africa. There are successful economies in Africa growing. Let's go and get those markets, and other markets in Asia as well. So to my mind, the answers are obvious. Getting there is not going to be easy, and there will be pain in the short term. One thing Piyush didn't mention, which because I'm not in government I can fool around with, is maybe there should be some very enterprising Indian importer in the UK who can import a lot of these items at duty-free prices, repackage them as made in the UK and sell them to America. I mean, that's something else that could also happen.
Okay, diplomat, politician can also be a good businessman.